This is CBC Nova Scotia News.
Dump denial. Shelburne's mayor faces backlash after saying the former dump is not a case of environmental racism.
Wildfire fuel. Fallen trees from Hurricane Fiona once again heighten unease in Cape Breton.
And keeping the youth. North Preston unveils affordable housing project to retain young residents.
Another nice day shaping up for Tuesday. Slight chance for showers and thunderstorms, really turning muggy in the long range. Your full forecast is coming up.
Good evening. A meeting to discuss whether a garbage dump has contaminated drinking water in a historic Black community was overshadowed by comments from the mayor of Shelburne about race.
The mayor is publicly disputing the widely accepted fact that Shelburne is one of the province's historic African Nova Scotian communities. The issue is critical as the provincial government mulls over whether it should apologize for the history of environmental racism in Black and Indigenous communities. The CBC's Elizabeth Chu has that story.
More than 80 people turned out to a meeting to learn whether the old garbage dump in Shelburne South End has been contaminating well water. The area is where Black families have lived for generations and fear drinking their water. The situation has been labeled environmental racism and is causing division, which this advocate wants addressed.
I want to know, how does the town of Shelburne plan to provide justice and remediation to the harm that has already been done as a result of environmental and systemic racism?
The town's top bureaucrat took the question.
Is there racism in Shelburne? Is there racism in the South End? Of course. Has there been racism in the past? Yes. Do we acknowledge that the dump was put in a predominantly Black community? Of course. We want our community to remain healthy.
Mayor Stan Jacklin spoke next.
The South End of Shelburne is not a Black community. It's a community of mixed race. I don't remember anybody in my community being poor. I grew up, I don't want to get into a debate.
But the debate followed him.
I always sort of think that sometimes dismissed and contradicted members of your community.
In an interview with CBC News, Jacklin doubled down.
The garbage dump placement is an act of environmental racism?
I don't believe that's a fact, to tell you the truth.
Can you elaborate?
No, I can't really elaborate, only due to the fact that it's a multicultural neighborhood.
This point is central as the Nova Scotia government plans to consult with community members on whether it should apologize for generations of environmental racism in Indigenous and African Nova Scotian communities. The recommendation to apologize came from a review panel. Its report has been extensively quoted.
I'm not familiar with that report, miss.
We call them ground zero homes.
Darlene Cooper showed up to listen and ask questions. She says she walked out in tears over the denial of a community's racial history.
Why was it so personally hurtful for you?
Because Mayor Jacklin is my brother.
Are you going to be able to talk to your brother again?
I think it'll take a little time. I'm traumatized for the last 67 years. I don't know how I'm going to get over this.
The meeting ended with experts saying some chemicals are leaching into the water, but not at significant levels. However, they recommend water monitoring for 30 years and the installation of a new cap over the dump to reduce contamination. And on environmental racism,
that is an issue that certainly will be addressed in the future, but I'm not sure that's our topic tonight.
Elizabeth Chu, CBC News, Shelburne.
Following the town hall, Mayor Stan Jacklin issued a personal statement regarding his remarks. In it, he says, quote, "When I said there is no Black community in the South End, I was using the word community in a geographical sense." He went on to say, "I understand how my lack of clarity would have caused harm, and I allowed my personal feelings to get involved, and I will be more mindful and understanding of the impact of my words."
Halifax Regional Police have identified the victim of a shooting in Dartmouth on Friday night. They say 39-year-old Thomas Jr. Downey of North Preston was found on Leahy Street shortly after 10 o'clock with gunshot wounds. He died at the scene. Following an autopsy, his death has now been ruled a homicide. No arrests have been made, and the investigation is ongoing. Police are asking anyone with information about the shooting to come forward.
A 71-year-old man is dead after his motorcycle crashed into an SUV in South Maitland. RCMP say the crash happened Sunday afternoon on Highway 215. The driver of the motorcycle was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver and passenger of the SUV were not injured. The cause of the crash remains under investigation.
3 people are facing charges connected to a case involving a stolen car with a dog inside earlier this month in Pictou County. The incident made national headlines after the victims managed to track their car down and confront the alleged thieves and rescue their dog in the process. New Glasgow Regional Police says a 32-year-old man is facing multiple charges. The RCMP have also charged 2 others since some of the alleged crimes happened in another district.
Residents in eastern Cape Breton are worried about the potential of wildfire in their region. They say fallen tree limbs from Hurricane Fiona have been left hanging for years. As the CBC's Ethan Hunt tells us, they're concerned the debris could be fodder for future fires.
Those that are all hung up like this, as you see in the background, they're just ready for a fire.
These tangled tree limbs have Mike Timoshek worried about wildfires. They're just some of the blowdown left over in the aftermath of post-tropical storm Fiona, which battered the coast of Cape Breton in 2022. Despite years of cleanup on his property in Catalone Gut, lots of branches and limbs remain near roads and trails.
The enormity of this is what is really overwhelming. You'd have to fly across here, and it's acres and acres and acres of damage.
Timoshek says he was especially concerned during last year's drought, and he fears what this wildfire season could bring.
It's always in the back of your mind, and especially when you see it on television and Fort Mac and California and all that kind of stuff.
Kara McCurdy has been involved with wildfire prevention since she was 16. She says a lot of the fallen trees and branches after Fiona led to an uptick in wildfires in Nova Scotia.
It can become heavy, messy, dry fuel close to the ground.
McCurdy was involved in the Fiona cleanup across the province, but saw the most fallen trees in the Cape Breton area. She says many tree limbs left dangling and intertwined could cause a chain reaction.
Hurricane blowdown kind of creates that kind of ladder effect. So the way things are arranged, it would be like having a forest fire that starts on the grass, and then it finds a shrub, and then it finds those lower limbs of a softwood tree, and then candles up to the top like a crown fire.
A professor of planning and community climate adaptation from Mount Allison University says she would like to see a task force built to manage the area. She's also concerned about egress if the island needs to be evacuated.
We can't wait until something happens to take action. We know this is coming. We know that this is a huge fire risk. Action has to be taken.
Mike Timoshek agrees and says the mass amount of blowdown in Cape Breton will only be gone with significant help. He says residents have done their part, but the damage is too extensive. In a statement, the Department of Natural Resources says provincial cleanup programs have helped deal with more than 250 hectares of damaged private lands in the Gabarouse and Port Maurienne area. The department says they understand why people are concerned about the level of debris, but adds it's only one of many factors that contribute to wildfire risk. Ethan Hunt, CBC News, Lewisburg.
And with a quick look at the weather forecast, here's Ryan with us.
Yes, pretty nice day.
Yeah, it turned into a great day, and much like our days in July, it takes a while to get the wheels turning, but once they do, it really did turn into a great day. Temperatures widespread, low to mid 20s, even some mid to high 20s towards the west. And yeah, as we look forward to tomorrow, it's going to be a similar story. Widespread temperatures into the mid to high 20s, a bit cooler in the sea breezes. Once again, a chance for some pop-up showers and thunderstorms developing into the afternoon, especially through eastern areas. Temperatures are going to be warm tomorrow. The humidity in the mix, but really cranking up that humidity after Canada Day on Wednesday. And you can see that is going to be the big story Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. It's really going to start to feel sticky. So that's going to be a factor, obviously, not only for the daytime highs, but for the nighttime lows. Those are looking pretty sticky as well. So you're going to want to make sure if you don't have air conditioning, get that fan dug out of the back closet. It's been a while since we've needed it, that's for sure, but definitely going to need it. We'll have your full 7-day forecast coming up.
Some good advice there, too. Okay, thanks so much, Ryan.
Thank you.
Opposition leaders say it's time for the Nova Scotia government to provide details about the plan for the MacKay Bridge in light of a recent tender for work related to the aging span. The tender calls for an assessment of the bridge's approach span concrete deck system. It's to include 20-year preservation strategies and 75-year rehabilitation options. NDP leader Claudia Chender and interim Liberal leader Ian Rankin say those kinds of timelines suggest the government could be preparing to put off replacing the bridge as it approaches the end of its service life. But a statement from the Public Works Department says the work is part of routine maintenance related to the bridge and that it's standard engineering practice to evaluate for the medium and long term. The tender notes that major rehabilitation or replacement of the bridge is planned to be complete by 2040.
More than 1,600 households will now be able to access free energy efficiency upgrades and reduce their energy bills. The $26 million investment from the province and the federal government will expand the home warming program and the African Nova Scotian Communities Retrofit program. The programs make it easier for more low and moderate income households to benefit from energy saving improvements such as insulation, air sealing, and heat pumps.
Well, a new affordable housing initiative in North Preston is in its early planning stages.
The project will see up to 100 residential units. The CBC's Molly McNaughton was at the launch. Have a look.
We invite you to build this future with us.
What happened here today was, it was an opening. It was a launch of the organization itself to the community. This organization has been going on for since 2021, so 4 to 5 years in the backgrounds. A lot of work has been done, so now was the day where we say to the community, hi, here we are, and this is what we're going to do for the community. Long story short, we're looking to bring in new housing into North Preston. It's a 5 to 6 multi-unit complex in the heart of North Preston, for the sole purpose of helping those in affordable housing, targeting those that are out, those residents that moved out, they can actually start moving back in.
The youth is our future, and without our youth, there is no community. You need the youth here, and I am so happy and proud of this day and to celebrate it. There's a lot of land in North Preston, but it's not available to us. It was given to us many, many years ago, but you know, it's owned now by the government. And that land, it would be nice if we could get that back. But this is a start.
In total, we have 8 acres of land. A portion of that land will be donated to North Preston Outreach Ministry. The land is owned by my father and mother, Morton and Dolores Simmons. It is going to look more like an apartment complex where we will have commercial businesses at the bottom, as well as residential units at the top. Why? Because even though we're looking for housing, we're also looking for employment opportunities, new entrepreneurship opportunities, and opportunities for the community to come together with new vision.
One of the things that was spoken about earlier was about having economic growth and having, a wealth transfer of wealth. And because of the legacy of racism, it's been difficult for us to have that future of having wealth transfer to our children, to our offspring. And so it's important for us to have housing that will give us an opportunity to build some financial stability.
Wouldn't it be nice to be out on a boat in the harbor right now?
Some folks taking advantage of a lovely evening in Halifax.
Absolutely. We've got Ryan up next with the full weather forecast. We're back on the other side of the break.
If we could order another day like today, I think a lot of us would be just fine with that, wouldn't we?
And well, I kind of feel like we deserve it, right? It's been a long stretch.
Yeah, June has been a bit tough. Though digging in some of the numbers, okay, so Cape Breton, like a degree to a degree and a half colder than normal for June. But the further west you go, the closer to normal we've been.
Okay.
Halifax kind of near normal, believe it or not. But some cool stretches and lots of days with precipitation. Right, I think that's been the kind of the universal thing. No soakings, but just like keeping the umbrella handy. That theme is carrying into July as well. And, you know, so much of this time of year is what we saw today, which is like the fog kind of lingering in the morning. Have a look at this. This is our time lapse from Peggy's Cove. And you can see it's just kind of capped in the morning, right? The fog, it takes a while to kind of stretch and get going. Boy, Peggy's was on wheels today, though.
Yeah.
Wow, look at the people.
Crowds there,
But once we get up into, you know, around the midday time period, sun's out.
Different picture completely.
But the amount of people that go through there on a daily basis is wild, isn't it?
Sure is. And there are more people still there.
Yeah, having a good time tonight.
And that's a live shot. Thanks to Nova Scotia webcams for that. And yes, a beautiful evening at Peggy's. And across the province, we have 26 Kentville, Greenwood, 27 at Kedgie. That's our hotspot. Sydney's at 18. And yes, you folks in Cape Breton, I know, as I said, have had a tough go for this month of June. Only Newfoundland really has been cooler, and a spot that's down towards southern Saskatchewan as well that's been kind of a cool pocket for the month of June. But we're feeling you, and we're hoping that things are going to get a little bit warmer here. They certainly will get warmer and muggier. Little cell that developed over Victoria County has now cleared off. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet. Couple of isolated cells up towards New Brunswick. Keeping an eye on those as we move through the next couple of hours that could sail down, and we'll show you that in just a second. This is the next system that is going to be unfortunately rolling in for Canada Day. We're not going to tap into the heat and humidity until after Canada Day, unfortunately. Let's roll through the forecast. So those cells across New Brunswick will potentially move in through this evening into the overnight. The thunderstorm outlook for tomorrow is generally in the east, Cape Breton, and back towards Halifax and even down towards Lunenburg County. So that's where you have to keep your eye on the sky for tomorrow. There are those that weak disturbance coming out of New Brunswick. Again, not really much showing up on the radar or on the future tracker, but an isolated risk until say midnight. And then as we move into Tuesday, there is a chance for showers even in the morning for you folks in Cape Breton. It's as we move into the midday time period in the afternoon, that's when we're looking at the chances for showers developing once again, primarily inland areas, the Northumberland Shore, Antigonish County, Guysborough County, back to Halifax County, and then even here back into Lunenburg County into the afternoon. So keep your eye on the sky. It's pretty smooth sailing and quiet for the Tri-County area down towards the South Shore and even the valley, I think. Other than an isolated shower for Kings, looking pretty quiet for you folks tomorrow. 18 to 23 for Cape Breton tomorrow. The winds are going to be light. We'll see 23 to 25 for eastern parts of the mainland. Temperatures ranging between 25 and 28 for most of central areas of the mainland and back into the west. We're talking about cooler onshore flow, 18 to 22. Inland, though, we're into the mid-20s, even high 20s, and a little bit of humidity in the mix for tomorrow, but really feeling the humidity on Wednesday. So this is Canada Day. Forecast models have been really having a tough time figuring out this warm frontal boundary coming through and where we're going to see the showers, but it looks like a pretty good chance that we'll see a scattered risk in the morning and a scattered risk into the afternoon as well. Keeping my fingers and toes crossed that most of that activity will have pushed off to the east as we move into Wednesday evening near fireworks time. So yes, we will keep you posted on that. But right now, kind of a mainly cloudy day with a chance for showers. That's going to be the name of the game across the province. And yes, as we watch that front move off to the east, we're going to talk about the muggy air really building in. And so Thursday, Friday, Saturday, scattered showers, thunderstorm chances. The dew point is going to be up into that 20, 22 range. That is mighty muggy, truly tropical, even undeniably unbearable for some folks on Thursday. And note the overnight lows are going to be in that 15, 16, 17, 18 range, Tom and Amy. That means just uncomfortable sleeping. And yes, a chance for showers pretty much every day, popping up with the risk for thunderstorms as well in that muggy air.
Okay, there you go. Mugginess on the
way.
way.
At least warmer, though.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
It's a trade-off.
Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. Members of the Army and the public gathered at the Emera Oval in Halifax over the weekend for a ceremony marking the 5th Canadian Division's contribution to the Atlantic region and the country.
The division is being deactivated as part of a planned restructuring. Have a look.
Gather on this parade at a moment of profound significance, not only for the 5th Canadian Division, but for the Canadian Army and the communities of Atlantic Canada that have sustained it for generations. In a few moments, we will witness the symbolic conclusion of this chapter. As is tradition, military formations lower their flag at sunset, marking the end of the day, but not the end of duty.
So the transition of our units, of our soldiers, of our Canadian Rangers, that in itself will not change. They will fall under different commands. It is just the signification of us dissolving this headquarters so that they can fit themselves into other divisions across Canada.
We are referring to today's ceremony as a sunsetting of the 5th Canadian Division. It's an opportunity to celebrate its many accomplishments. But as General Parsons said, it is a transition, not a farewell.
Quick march!
Well, it's obviously an incredibly significant moment for the Canadian Army writ large and for the members of the 5th Canadian Division. But this isn't the first time that we've retired the division or that we've taken them off the active order of battle. It happened at the end of the First World War. It happened at the end of the Second World War. But as opposed to those two times where it was because we were drawing down, the reason that we're standing them down now is because we are reestablishing the Army the way that we need to be set up for the defense of Canada, to be a reliable and credible partner around the world, and to be ready to help grow not only the Canadian Army, but the Canadian Armed Forces.
Coming up, from music to acrobatics, the Royal Nova Scotia International Tattoo is back in Halifax this week.
Royal Nova Scotia International Tattoo opens Wednesday here in Halifax. And for more on this, I'm joined by Managing Director, Executive Producer, Scott Long. So this year, you've got a scene based on how Nova Scotians responded to 9/11, 25 years ago this September. Tell me a bit about what folks are going to see.
Sure. So 25 years ago in September, 9/11 happened, and the way we're going to commemorate that this year is we're working in partnership with the Halifax International Airport Authority. And really the point of what we're doing creatively and in the messaging that we're putting across in our show this year is how Nova Scotians responded, and really sort of a celebration of Nova Scotians, focusing on that, on how kind we are, how friendly we are, and how eager we are to help a friend when they're in need. You know, we're not really focusing on, you know, the real ugly parts of the tragedy. We're trying to make it like a feel-good story in the show to commemorate it that way. And, you know, we've been working with the airport authority to get stories from employees who'd worked there that day. And we've done some things on social media to collect stories from people in the community who helped out and brought people in and brought strangers into their homes and fed people. So it's really, we're trying to put a positive spin on, you know, a really horrible event, especially in a world now that's increasingly divided.
Any stories that stick out to you the most?
There was quite a few. I mean, just what surprised me the most, I shouldn't say surprised, but my favorite thing about the stories was just how willing people were to help, how willing Nova Scotians are to step up and help people when they're in need. And I thought that was, you know, not surprising, but also still remarkable that, you know, Nova Scotians we're always there to help a neighbor. Yeah.
And besides the stories, there's going to be a musical component to it.
There is. It mostly is a musical component behind it, with some video, multimedia content, with some of the storytelling. And we have Rini in the show this year. She's our local featured solo performer in the show. And Rini will be singing with a couple of members from our youth chorus and also our choir and our youth chorus together. So it's a really big scene. There's a lot of movement in it with the bands. There's the full brass and reed backing up the singing and a full choir. So it's one of the larger scenes in the show.
And we can hear them practicing in the background right now. You've got folks coming from all over the world. Who are you keeping an eye on? Like, who should the visitors to this show be watching for?
Well, I think all of our international cast is super good this year. The Belgian Air Force Band, they're really, really good and fun. They've got a great, I'm not going to give too much away, but their show is going to feature some really well-known music that people I think will like. And the German contingent this year, they're a long-time friend of the tattoo. Our relationship with Germany goes back to 1979. And in fact, in 2026, this year, Canada and Germany celebrating 75 years of opening diplomatic relations after World War II. So they've sent a very large group over here this year to help recognize that significant relationship that Canada and Germany has now. There's over, I think, 120 in the cast from Germany here in the show this year. And I think one of my favorites so far is an act from Quebec that we have. It's a cirque act coming from Quebec. And they're putting on some really, really nice and dangerous displays. So very entertaining. Yeah.
And of course, Wednesday is Canada Day. People are feeling more patriotic than usual, or maybe they're showing it a bit more. Right. What are you going to have that's going to maybe make people celebrate Canada Day extra? Okay,
well, first of all, we have our parade at 10 a.m. So all of our cast will take part in a parade that comes out of the Scotiabank Centre, up Spring Garden Road, and back down to Brunswick Street. And also, we do have a ticket special, 2 for 1 for Canada Day only. We want as many people to come and celebrate Canada Day with us this year, and because it's never been more important to celebrate being Canadian.
And what is it that draws people? Some people come back year after year from very far away, even and locally. Yeah. What is it about the tattoo that really gets people? I think, I know that from an organizational point of view, like you say, we have people that come from Europe to volunteer every year. It's a family thing. It's a family show. We have people in our choirs that, you know, they're
mom and dad was in the choir, and now we're seeing like, you know, multi-generational family members coming through even our volunteer choir system that we have. It's just a feel-good family environment, and everybody gets along really well. And I think that the messaging in the show too is important. It's history, it's culture, it's heritage, and it's about you know, coming together and being united again in a world that's just getting too divided. So we have to, you know, and the tattoo's always been about unity and coming together, and I think that that's what's important.
All right, well, thank you for your time. I know it's a very busy time for you, so best of luck with everything.
Thank you very much.
Coming up, the search for 6 missing boaters off the coast of British Columbia has been suspended.
And canine conservationists, how dogs are being trained to detect invasive species before they become a problem. Welcome back. A marine search and rescue operation in the ocean near Vancouver has been called off and is now officially a recovery operation.
6 people are missing in those waters after the boat they were on sank on Sunday, and 2 of the 4 others rescued are in critical condition. Dan Burritt has the details.
The Joint Rescue Coordination Center says the boat was reportedly a fishing charter that left from here in Steveston, an historic fishing village in Richmond, south of Vancouver, on Sunday morning. Police say 10 people were on board the boat when it began taking on waters southwest of Vancouver International Airport in the Georgia Strait. A massive rescue operation was launched with helicopters, hovercraft, nearby ferries, and private boats. 4 people were rescued. Rescue crews called off the search for the 6 missing late Sunday. None were believed to be wearing life jackets. Now rescue officials say they have done all they can to try to find survivors.
We were very confident by the time we recommend to the commander a search suspension that we have exhausted all possibilities of finding anyone on the surface alive. The fact that the members were reported not wearing life jackets does factor into that. We exhausted all possible ways to find any survivors, and that's the point where we go to the commander to recommend search suspension, and then it's handed over to RCMP, and they can continue to investigate any other leads.
Amid that sobering news is gratitude for people who stepped up to help, particularly a couple in a sailboat who were heading from Vancouver to a nearby Gulf island. They rescued 3 people, but had to make a difficult choice.
I expected them to swim to the dinghy line and then try and climb onto the dinghy or hang on to it. And we picked up a female person first and then circled around several times more and picked up 2 males.
Well, when we initially saw the sight of 5,
we lost sight of the other
2. We decided to just go for the 3 that were closer together. That's the decision, a hard one we had to make. And we finally got them after about 20 minutes to hold on.
Search team leaders add there was no sign of the boat in the water. Dan Burrett, CBC News, Richmond, BC.
A deadly record-breaking heat dome has moved across Europe, with the continent's eastern nations now facing 40-degree temperatures. And as Anna Cunningham explains, the high number of heat-related fatalities in France have overwhelmed the country.
This heat wave has been long and intense for Europe. In France, the authorities are reporting that over 9 days, at least 1,000 people have died in incidents related to the heat. Funeral homes in the French capital, Paris, are now reporting that they are under pressure, rapidly running out of space and being overwhelmed with the need to safely store the bodies of those who have died. Take a look at this heat map and you will see how this heat wave has moved from the west of Europe and is now heading across the east, particularly towards the Balkan countries. Over the weekend, there were high temperatures in Berlin, in Germany, where the police used water cannons to cool people down. And in Hungary, people have been making use of the cold water that's being misted up from the streets. It's been a very similar situation as well in Lithuania and Czechia. But there is one country that is finding these high temperatures particularly difficult to deal with, and that is Ukraine. There are concerns about how the country's energy infrastructure will cope, given that it is already under intense pressure from those military attacks by Russia. The head of one Ukrainian energy company describing this as a serious test for equipment that has been operating under wartime conditions for more than 4 years. There are now millions of people across Europe who have been experiencing this intense heat wave, and records being broken for June temperatures across multiple countries. The World Health Organization is saying that European nations are not made for these temperatures and that lessons need to be learned, and many of those countries need to adapt. Anna Cunningham, CBC News, London.
It's been more than 5 days since powerful twin earthquakes rocked Venezuela. Rescue teams are still working around the clock looking for survivors in the hundreds of buildings that were destroyed. The official number of dead has now risen to more than 1,700 people, but tens of thousands of others remain missing. Katie Simpson is at the Venezuelan border with the details.
With every hour, with every minute that passes, the chances of finding survivors in Venezuela, it diminishes greatly. There's a critical window to find survivors trapped in the rubble of things like a natural disaster, like earthquakes, and that window has long passed, but still, there are some miraculous stories of survival. A 21-year-old man being pulled from a pile of debris after being trapped for 106 hours. He is alive, he is injured, but that rescue operation itself took some 43 hours. Now, there are rescue crews from all over the world taking part in this monumental effort, including from Canada, a team from Burnaby, BC, made up of police officers, firefighters, a paramedic, and 2 search and rescue dogs. They're on the ground right now, and they say that they're trying to provide whatever services are needed, whether it's search and rescue or medical services, and that they're working with local authorities to make sure they're best serving as they can in this very difficult moment. There are search and rescue crews from all over the world, from France, from Germany, from the United States, and we've seen them really leading a lot of these efforts. Venezuela continues to face intense criticism from the Venezuelan people over its lack of response, its inability to meet this moment in an emergency situation. After years of corruption and financial mismanagement during the Nicolas Maduro regime, some people that we've been speaking with who are Venezuelans say all of those challenges, the lack of investment, the corruption, in a time of need when those emergency and public services are very badly and urgently needed, they're not there to serve the people they're supposed to serve. And so there is an overwhelming sense of frustration that is mounting and turning into anger that is only getting bigger and bigger as the scale and scope of this crisis comes into focus. Katie Simpson, CBC News, Cucuta, Colombia.
There's confusion about the state of peace talks between the U.S. and Iran. The interim deal that was meant to end hostilities while negotiations continued is also on shaky ground. Over the weekend, both sides launched airstrikes and accused each other of violating the ceasefire. Crystal Gamansing has the details on where things stand now.
Diverging narratives coming from the U.S. and Iran. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says there will be high-level talks in Doha and that U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and the president's son-in-law Jared Kushner will be attending. Leavitt, in an interview on Fox and Friends, said Iran should sign a deal.
The president obviously wants to see the peace process play out, and the Iranians would be best to sign a good deal with the United States of America because the president has proven he's unafraid to use the might of our military. As far as we're concerned, we're holding up our end of the ceasefire. Violence will be met with violence.
She says on the sideline of those high-level talks, there will also be technical discussions. She repeated a claim by the U.S. president that Iran requested this meeting. There is no indication that that is true. In fact, Pakistan, one of the mediators of the Islamabad Memorandum of Understanding, said that these were scheduled technical talks. Iran's deputy foreign minister said that the schedule was not confirmed and that talks would not be taking place tomorrow. Now, if those talks do go ahead tomorrow, the Strait of Hormuz will be a critical point to be discussed. Keeping it open has been a challenge, as well as suppressing any hostilities. The route used was the reason for strikes and counterstrikes over the weekend. Iran wants only its route through the strait to be used. Ships had been using a route closer to Oman. Now, Iran is trying to exert control over the strait because it is its best and most effective bargaining chip. If talks go ahead tomorrow, they will be focused on trying to keep the peace agreement intact and pushing forward with a long-term deal. Crystal Gamansing, CBC News, Jerusalem.
With Quebec's provincial election just months away, an English language leaders debate is officially off the table after 2 of the major parties declined to participate. Alexander Silberman has the reaction from Anglo voters.
In Montreal's Côte-de-Neige neighborhood, home to a large English-speaking population.
Angry.
Many residents are disappointed. There will be no election debate held in their primary language.
It's wrong. It's making people very bitter.
I can't really follow the conversation in French. It would be very difficult. It would be very frustrating for me, so I'm not even going to listen to it.
Quebec broadcasters wanted to hold an English language debate before the fall election, but the 2 main parties declined an invitation. The Conservative Party of Quebec and Quebec Solidaire accepted, but the CAQ and sovereignist Parti Québécois declined. The Quebec Liberal Party also opted out, saying it would only join if all leaders participated.
Certainly, there is strategic politics going on there.
Tonight, I'm asking for your support.
In 2018, leaders participated in a televised English debate, the first in Quebec's history. But the idea was politically unpopular with nationalist francophones. Now, the parties see nothing to gain and only risk, according to this political scientist.
Because some members of their base criticized them for participating in an English language debate, while they were at the same time saying that they wanted to do more to protect French language.
But some Quebec Anglophones say no debate means important issues could be left out of the discussion, including access to health care in English.
It was deeply disappointing.
The president of the advocacy group for Quebec English speakers is urging the leaders to reconsider.
And when we're talking about important things where you need to hear the nuance, then it's important to hear it in your own language.
Quebec's leaders will face off in 3 French language debates, with polls showing a tightening 3-way race. Alexander Silverman, CBC News, Montreal.
An Ontario Conservation Authority has a new program to help detect invasive species before they take hold and harm the local environment.
Their secret weapon in this fight has 4 legs, and her name is Tilly. Here's Talia Ricci with an introduction.
As playful as she may appear, this pup is hard at work. Specially trained with the ability to detect high-risk invasive species before they become established in our conservation areas.
Search. We selected Tilly from working line Labrador Retriever breeders. They're more of the working line and a higher drive. Search. What we do is we focus on one single target box, and when she was 8-9 weeks old, we would feed her over that target odor, and we would get her acclimatized to that odor, and then we would feed up through the middle of the box, getting her to sort of drop her nose into the box and wait patiently for the food reward. Good girl.
The pilot project with Tilly is starting with Credit Valley conservation sites. Trainer Tony Pilata says while they've worked with dogs to detect bedbugs before, this is the first time they've trained a dog to detect invasive species outdoors.
These dogs, or Tilly at the very least, is trained to find the actual eggs and larvae, which is not giving off a lot of odors. So people would assume that, you know, there's this massive odor plume coming off of these targets. These are literally eggs from very small insects.
Now that Tilly is ready for the job, staff at Credit Valley Conservation are taking over the program and facilitating maintenance training and deployment. They say the use of a detection dog is more accurate and cost-effective than conventional field surveys.
We're focused on 3 species, 2 insects, hemlock woolly adelgid, spotted lanternfly, and then 1 species of crayfish, red swamp crayfish. And we're targeting these species, the 2 insects, because they're not yet here. They're close by, and they have the potential to be introduced to become really big problems, and we'd like to be able to react to them and stop the problem. The crayfish, red swamp crayfish, was just introduced to us down in Mississauga last year, so we're going to use Tilly to see the extent of the distribution.
Credit Valley Conservation says invasive species poses one of the greatest threats to forests, biodiversity, and local economies. They spread rapidly and often have irreversible impacts.
Piloting this program is and showing how successful it is applicable to large scale to go to other conservation areas potentially.
Tilly is expected to be out beginning detection work this summer. And as tempting as it may be to pet her, the public is asked not to interact with Tilly while she's on the job. Talia Ricci, CBC News, Toronto.
All right, pretty nice day for pictures in the province of Nova Scotia today for sure. Let's see where Ryan's taking us tonight.
Yes, the mystery continues.
I love that so many folks reference the fog monster when they email me.
Your words.
Yeah, that's right. It's sticking.
You got to copyright it.
It's sticking. Have a look at this, and this is a perfect example of the fog monster moving into the Digby area. And you can see it there.
That's
lurking.
pretty dramatic.
Yeah, it is. Absolutely. And then, of course, not sunshine saying, no, that's as far as you go. Thanks to Diane for this pick, Ryan's picks at cbc.ca. Have a look at our forecast for tomorrow. Yeah, shower chances, risk for a thunderstorm primarily across the eastern half of the mainland and into Cape Breton as well. Light winds, temperatures are going to be, quite warm. We'll be ranging between 24 and 28 degrees. Cooler in those sea breezes, temperatures near 23. Wednesday is still a little up in the air in terms of where we'll see the steadiest showers. It does look like everybody running at least the risk of seeing some scattered showers. No community looks set to see showers from start to finish. So keep the umbrella and the rain jacket handy and off you go to enjoy Canada today. You can see that muggy meter really is going to be the big story toward the end of the week. Humidity building in. And as the humidity builds in, those shower chances aren't going anywhere. It really a chance for showers every day in the 7-day forecast. But of course, important to remember, some folks may not see any showers because it's all going to depend on where they develop, especially once that humidity builds in Thursday and beyond. It's really going to become scattered in nature.
We'll watch for it. Okay, thanks, Ryan. Oh, Romeo. A cat stole the show during a final scene at a recent Romeo and Juliet ballet. Okay, Shakespeare should take some notes maybe. This cat interrupted this performance of the famed play in Turkey.
Clawing at Romeo's dead body, adding a layer of comedy to the tragic final scene. Fun fact, when cats are desperate, they've been known to eat dead bodies.
Oh dear.
It was an Oscar-worthy performance, or was Romeo in danger of being eaten? We're not too sure.
Yeah, stay tuned. That's it for us tonight. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.